What does COP26 mean to you?
So COP26 is obviously this amazing opportunity for countries and different organisations around the world to come together and actually decide on the action that we're going to take to save our planet. We're at this very critical time where, there's been talk for years about that we need to take action, but actually, the clock really is ticking. So it's a fantastic opportunity for those decisions to be made.
For all we know, as far as we can tell, this is the only place where anything thinks. And if you think about what we are, going back to Carl Sagan, each of us, we are collections of atoms that can think. It's an absolutely bizarre concept that such things could exist in nature. And as far as we know, they only exist here. And it may be very fortuitous indeed. And so my challenge to the world leaders would just think about this. Given that, let's say meaning, let's use that word, meaning. Given that meaning is a property of brains, so it's a physical property that emerges from physical structures in the universe. But if in our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, the only place where those physical structures have emerged, quite by chance, is this one, and you mess it up, or we mess it up, then we might eliminate meaning in a galaxy. And furthermore, it may be that this is the only place where that ever happened, and maybe ever will happen. So this might be it, as far as that galaxy is concerned.
What does net zero mean to you?
Technically speaking, it means that we absorb or take as much carbon out of the atmosphere as we put in. So we don't increase the concentration of CO2 greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So I think what I learned talking to the experts is that it's a simple thing to say.
Yeah.
But it is extremely complicated to do. And it requires changes not only in the generation of electricity and the way that we travel and so on, it also requires changes in the way that we offset the carbon and the way we take it out of the atmosphere and so on. So it's a huge area.
When something like COP comes to town, everyone talks about climate, and of course climate is fundamental. If we don't have a planet that's habitable, then we don't have anything. But equally, we need to think about, social justice. We need to think about how these transitions happen. We need to think about how countries that have not contributed all of that carbon into the environment and caused climate change are now suffering from the biggest implications of that, and how we now help them to address and adapt to the changes that are happening in their countries as well.
Is there any changes you've made in your own personal life to lead a greener lifestyle?
Yes, there have been a few challenges. I mean, I'm a firm believer that we've really got to empower and challenge the next generation, starting at home, starting with my children, getting them to think more about what they're buying, why they're buying it, where it comes from, and where it's going to potentially end up.
Activism takes its shape from the form of the word action. So regardless of what we think of the word, being here today, thinking of ways to heal our planet, we are all activists. Sometimes it's hard to believe that things are changing, and hard again to believe that these changes are making an impact. But they are, and they will. It brings peace of mind to know that this problem really is being dealt with and taken seriously by every single person in this room tonight. The actions we take now will make a domino effect on everything, and everything that will be in the future. I hope that COP26 helps us to learn how to power change together again. It could mean saving the world, and after all, I believe that there is no greater version of the human spirit than redemption.
I suppose we have, as I said, 100% renewable energy straight from SSE's wind farms and hydroelectric power, so customers can certainly be guaranteed of the authenticity of the renewable energy that they're using.
What would be your takeaway personally from COP26 or even just from tonight?
I think from COP26 and from tonight, it's been the diversity of voices. And for me, that's been great. Having Brian Cox this evening and just reminding us that we are so precious. We live on such a precious planet, and basically we've got no second chance here. And yourself, Victory, really giving that sort of inspiration, for the youth. And I think you were absolutely right when you addressed the room and you said, everyone here has got a position of responsibility, work with us. So for me, that would be my takeout, that we've got to bring in diversity of thought to tackle this massively complicated challenge.